Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Bain Break It Down Forex. It's your boy Big Bain in this thing. You guys guessed it, another week, another opportunity for us to make some money in the Forex market. All right, let's get right to it. Boom, over on the dollar, guys. You can see from this higher time frame, we got a nice higher low, made the higher high, pulling back to now, try to make another higher high. But I think we're going to get a little bit down into this demand level before we rise up. So just the structure overall is bullish on the dollar. All right, this is all just a pullback. So again, at some point we should expect the dollar to rise and start breaking above these highs, but this is on the weekly time frame. So again, that's going to take a couple of weeks. So we'll probably see the rise all throughout February and March. But let's go down and take a look at it on the lower time frame, give you guys a better idea of what's really going on. Right, so here, all right, we got a nice little rising wedge, and you can see that this is, most likely a bearish reversal pattern. All right, so if that's the case, we can get down to this level of support on the wedge, or potentially down to this level of support, right, before we end up rising. So it's very mixed on the dollar as we stand right now, right? We could start rising out of this and potentially, kind of get up to this resistance level and maybe, do a little bounce and go up. But from this chart pattern, all right, I'm going to go with the dollar falling. All right, just, not too far, but anywhere within any one of these demand levels, and possibly here at the very lowest right here. All right, so bearish on the dollar temporarily coming out the gate, but overall bullish on the dollar as we look ahead of time. Right, another thing, so for news that we have coming out this week for the dollar, it starts on Tuesday. All right, Trump speaks on Tuesday. They don't really have a time for it just yet. And then Wednesday we got FOMC. All right, so that's at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Most likely, the dollar won't do too much until that happens. And then on Thursday we got unemployment claims at 8:30, and then Friday we finish it up with PMI for the dollar around 9:45 a.m. So a very eventful week for the dollar, starting on Tuesday, heading or clearing out the rest of the week. So we will have movement and activity. You just got to be ready for it. All right, again, dollar has made a significant push down. All right, when we look at it, let's say like the 1 hour time frame. All right, you see that move, right? So now we got to go and get all of that. So again, I do believe the dollar is going to fall, but as it stands right now, the structure, rise, but as it stands right now, the structure is still bearish, right? So we'll probably get down to here, and then after that, maybe we'll start rising. So we got to watch out and see how things go. All right, but temporarily bearish on the dollar, but overall bullish on the dollar. All right, over to odd dollar. All right, and we can see that the odd dollar has been rising a little bit. All right, and you guys see from a higher time frame, right, we just broke above these highs. All right, we just broke above this high, so this is really, that's support as of right now. And we can expect a pullback, right, somewhere in this range, right? But that would mean if the odd dollar falls, that would mean the dollar's rising. So because the dollar still looks like it's going to fall for now, then the odd dollar could continue rising, taking out the high of this previous day on Friday. So when we go and we look at it on the lower time frame, all right, we can see we got a nice structural price action, right? Just higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, and we form all of this little wedge, right, or really descending triangle down into this fair value gap. So chances are we'll get a little deep into here, and then we'll start to rise up out of there as the dollar begins to fall. All right, so I'm going to be bullish on the odd dollar. All right, let's bring it back to a decent time frame. Let's go 4 hour. All right, that looks good. All right, but again, don't sleep on the potential pullback on the odd dollar before it rises. All right, but definitely seeing some sort of retracement, and then getting up out of there for a rise. All right, so again, bullish on odd dollar over the euro dollar, and we're at a level of resistance. All right, so again, if it's going to fall, that means the dollar most likely will rise. The euro dollar is the most correlated with the dollar, right? Inversely correlated, meaning when the dollar goes up, euro goes down, and vice versa. But again, if it falls, then that typically means the dollar is going to rise. But as we look at it here on the 4-hour, we can see that, it made a nice rise up. So it's definitely overdue for some sort of drop. All right, so we got to get to the lower time frame, get more details. And look, it hasn't broken structure, right, of this uptrend market structure that you see. There is no break of this low, right? So we're nowhere near like really getting ready to head down. All right, so I will be very bullish on the euro dollar, right? We may tap into this fair value gap. I'll just draw it right now since I didn't before. Okay, and whoop, there it is. So here again, guys, we can drop down a little bit, maybe tap into the demand and then get up out of there. All right, so I'll be bullish on the euro dollar. And just kind of, let's go to high time frame really quick. Yeah, so again, yeah, we may not just blast through supply, right? We may play around because again, we got a lot of news this week, right? So it may be a little, sidewaysness before the breakout, but just from what we're getting right now, again, I'm looking to buy the Euro USD. Now, if there's something that just causes the dollar to rise right out the gate, then obviously this looks good for a selling opportunity. But like we were on the 15-minute time frame, right? We want to see price get below this low, all right, to really be confident that it's going to go and start eating away at the up move that it made here. All right, and that's our swing low. So we're going away from our swing low. We're basically coming up to our swing high. You guys can see it over here. All right, so at some point maybe we'll just rise up. That's about 40 pips, and then from there we'll drop down and we'll make, if it'll let me, roughly 240 pips to the downside. That seems more ideal. All right, so we just got to wait for it to play out and then we'll take advantage. All right, so bullish temporarily on the euro dollar, but because I believe the dollar is going to rise long term, I'm bearish, at that point. All right, so let's move on. All right, again, that was our euro dollar. So now over to pound dollar. All right, and with pound dollar, guys, same deal as the euro dollar, right? We're still making uptrend market structure. We actually just had a break, so we can expect that pullback, right, where it's going down. But again, nice little fair value gap right here that it can respect and just continue to rise. So, be very careful selling the euro dollar, the pound dollar, even though it looks like, we can probably head back down to any one of these areas before pound dollar rises. But what I'm thinking is going to happen is that we're probably going to get roughly about in this area, and then we'll start heading back up as the dollar is falling, right? Okay, but again, guys, long term, the dollar looks like it's going to rise. So if we get a little higher on the time frame, we can see that we got a nice little level of supply sitting right around here that pound dollar will most likely get into, and then from there it'll drop. All right, so again, just be mindful of this, right? Temporarily bullish on pound dollar, but overall I'm going to be bearish on it. All right, so that's what we have for pound dollar. Moving on to New Zealand dollar, and you can see the same thing, right? We've been rising because the dollar has been falling. So I do believe we're probably going to continue to rise, get up to supply 51 pips, 60 pips or so, and then from supply we're going to come on down all the way to our swing low for 269 pips. All right, so again, my bias is temporary, right? Temporarily bullish as we get up to supply, and then from supply I know that's our key area, right, where we're going to have a major move once the bears show up and price does its dance. All right, 262 compared to 50, right? Which one would you want to take? All right, that's how that goes. So again, temporarily bullish, overall bearish on New Zealand dollar. Over to dollar CAD. So you can see, we're at this little support level, but we got demand sitting right below it, as well as this tiny fair value gap. So again, we can push down a little bit more because the dollar still looks bearish, and then from there, guys, we can start to rise. But we can even start to rise right here from the support level, right, and just head on up to that swing high. And if we get that, right, we're talking 600 and some odd pips to the upside. But what I believe is that we're going to get a little bit of something, just trying to get from a lower price to make it really, bounce up and rise. So temporarily bearish on dollar CAD, overall bullish on dollar CAD, either from this demand support level here or this demand level here. Just gotta let it play, gotta let it play out, because again, news is affecting pretty much everything. All right, my team did sell it. We made 30 some odd pips, but we're going to take our profit as soon as the market opens, and we're going to go from there. All right, so over to dollar CHF, and bullish, right at a demand level right now. We have some heavy bearish pressure, right? I don't think we're going to get below this. I do think we're just going to kind of play around, and already you can see we're getting a rise from that area. All right, so I like the dollar CHF to buy it right now, even though it is still bearish. The main reason why, so here's your bearish structure, right? And so it could still do one of these numbers, right? That still could be the outcome, and I don't see where that next level of demand is, so it's kind of right here. All right, support. So again, we can probably get down to here, right? Just doing our little dance, and then maybe we'll get a double bottom, right? And then we'll start to head up from there. So that is a possibility, but as it stands from this demand level right now, it's already rising. So we could just see it get up to here, potentially break, and then get up to that swing. And if it does, we're talking 157 pips to the upside. If we get it from this level of support, we're talking 240 pips to that upside. All right, but as it stands right now on the dollar CHF, guys, it looks like it's pushing up, but we can see it'll probably go to where it broke right here to retest, maybe get a little deeper in that fair value gap, maybe even tap into supply before it drops down. All right, but you got to see how it plays out throughout the week. You can't just jump in without anything that's telling you exactly what you want to see. All right, so as much as I would like to be bullish on this, right, this is all just a pullback to the down move. So any up movement in this structure is just a pullback, right? It's not a uptrend until we break above these highs, come back and retest this, respect it as support, and then bulls show up. At that point, dollar CHF is extremely bullish, right? So just right out the gate, I'll be looking to sell this, right, either from this area or this area, right? But then as we get down to support, either from this demand area or potentially down here, right? I don't think it's going to go that far, but I'll be looking to buy the dollar CHF. So probably make a little bit more profit on this sell, but definitely going to be looking for the ties to turn, because we're at heavy demand levels and we're at major swing points at the low. All right, so temporarily bearish, long-term bullish on dollar CHF. Over to dollar JPY. All right, so again, we've made all that movement down. The dollar was falling, right? And the JPY actually looks like it's going to rise, right? Which would cause the dollar JPY to fall even more. All right, so there's possibility, guys, that we'll push up a little bit, and then we'll head down to this demand, maybe even a swing low, before we start to turn around and take everything back up to the high. So if we talk about from supply to that demand, that's 100 pips, right? And if we get it to the swing low, that's 166. But once we get down here, or even in this area, right, getting back up to the high is 320, right? Or 400, pips roughly. So again, guys, temporarily bearish on dollar JPY, because that's the structure that we're getting, even though we're close to demand level where it can reverse from, right? I'm going to be looking to see, okay, when you get here, are you ready to rise or not, right? Or are you going to continue to fall? And then from here, are you ready to rise or not, right? So once it gets to your key level, guys, you just got to be patient and wait for price to show its hand, and then you'll be good to go. All right, so that's what it is on dollar JPY, temporarily bearish, overall bullish. All right, pound odd is coming from a key supply area, guys. And if we look at it from the 4 hour, right, we can see that, yeah, this still looks bullish, right? This run, pullback. So what it looks like it might do is continue to rise a little bit, but when it gets here, it may stall, right? It may kind of go to this level of resistance, right? It'll get there, and then maybe we'll get the drop coming from there, guys. All right, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. on pound odd, and look at that, that's 379 pips to the downside. Now who knows, we might not get this pullback, you know, to be that deep, right? It may just come back a little bit to supply like this and then give us the drop. Either way, guys, you know, you always are going to have to wait and see, you know, what price is trying to show you before it does what it does. All right, but it's looking pretty bullish right now, right? So a nice little support level here. Okay, so we can potentially catch it up to that supply, all right, for about 100 pips. Okay, so on pound odd, I'm initially bullish, right? But as we get here, potentially a little bit above it, I'm expecting a drop. All right, but who knows, because again, we've already came down to the swing low, and now we could be making that structure to just really head up to that swing high. So buying it from here, guys, is a very good opportunity to get away with the tight stop loss just about here. All right, it's 40 pips, and we can take it all the way up to the swing high, right, for 1-8 risk to reward, and we're talking 342 pips to the upside. So I really do like pound odd for the buy. All right, long on pound odd. All right, pound cat. So pound cat is giving, you know, that uptrend structure as well, right? And we are coming from that swing low, and we could potentially get up to that swing high, the same as pound odd. So just looking at it for now, you know, it's definitely giving you know, still more bullish vibes, all right, with a nice break of structure right here, and again, a nice little demand zone in this area. All right, so for now, you know, we can pretty much look for price to sweep this liquidity, come down, tap into demand, and then continue its uptrend. You guys can see how it just falls in alignment, right? Boom, connect the dots, you see it happening, and then right up out of there. All right, so bullish on the pound cat. All right, over to pound CHF, and again, we're rising, right? We broke above these highs right here, right? When it made new highs, did a little pullback, engineered some liquidity, and kind of tapped into these fair value gaps, which again was just in the same area where we broke above those highs, right? So now we're respecting this trend line, and we can easily get up to this level of supply, 60-70 pips to the upside, and that, you know, is going to be around our swing high, which is kind of really right here, right? So I'll put it back up here. All right, so when we get from, you know, this area, we can get down to that swing low. Again, liquidity that hasn't been swept from here and here. All right, and we're looking at 200 pips to the downside. So initially bullish on the pound CHF, but then I'm definitely going to expect it to drop from this area. So we did sell it as it came down here, and we made, you know, roughly the 23 pips, but now we're at, you know, a little roadblock where, you know, it could do either or, but you can kind of see it's leaning more towards going up than down at the moment. So, you know, really going to be looking for that push up to, you know, grab what we can, and then from here is where we're really going to be focused on getting into a sell from. All right, it's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right, guys, bullish but then bearish on pound CHF. Okay, pound JPY. So you guys can see major short position on pound JPY. I'm expecting the drop. Now we're at the support area of this rising channel, right? But you know, we can, so that means we can rise up to resistance, right? Maybe go and take out the swing high before we actually drop, right? That is a possibility, right? But I'm hoping that, you know, just really kind of does one of these numbers. If it is going to do a pullback, just get right up to the resistance area of that rising channel, and then break on out, give us a nice retest, and then come on down and, you know, do a stance. That's what I'm expecting on GJ. So I'm bearish on it. Forgive me, I'm all over the place with clicking, but here it is. Very nice position on GJ. The J's are going to get us paid. It did last week, and it's about to do it again this week, guys. Y'all need to really tap in. All right, great opportunity on GJ for the sell. All right, over to pound New Zealand, and let's get it from a higher time frame. All right, you guys can kind of see, you know, equal highs right here. So obviously liquidity is behind that, right? We came from the swing low, we made the swing high, so maybe we can be headed down, once again to the swing low, but we got some roadblocks. We got a few stopping points, right at this demand area. So as it stands right now, we're also at a support area just, on the lower time frame. So we get down to the 2 hour and you guys can see that, right? So we had a nice break of a high, went and kept making higher highs, higher lows. Then we turned around and, started reversing, right? But we're respecting the support area, the same area that we broke, right? It's respecting it now and the bulls are showing up. So I'm expecting price to rise and potentially get up to this level here, maybe the swing high, all right? But just up to this level is 200 pips. That's all you need, all right? Standard lot $2,000 and you're done trading for the week, all right? But bullish on pound New Zealand. Okay, crude oil, guys. So we built another rising channel, all right? And then right from resistance, we broke down to sweep all the liquidity behind that channel, right? And now we're right into this demand area. So I still am surviving this oil trade for the buy. It's up pretty good up here, but then it found that supply and it reversed, right? So again, it kind of still looks bearish, right? Just from this move, this is all the pullback and this is coming down, but will it break this or not is the key point. And for the most part, just looking left, almost every time we were in this area, even over here, we rose up, right? So this is from 70 to 73. That's a 3-point move. That's 300 points or pips on oil. So again, I'm expecting that to happen this week. Just the bulls start to show up from here and finally, get up to that swing high once again. All right, so bullish on oil. All right, over to silver. You guys can see that again, it looks extremely bullish, right? We broke above this trend line, came back and made a higher low. Here's our higher high. And now we can still, make equal lows, or potentially, it might just start to reverse right away to make that higher low and get back up to this swing high. So I'm already in a buy position on it. I was up pretty good, right? And then it just kind of came back right to my entry point. So now I'm expecting it to take off. Starting the week, especially if the dollar falls a good bit, this will definitely, make that move up. But sometimes it's not always correlated, right? It's, you got to go with what the charts are showing you. And that's pretty much what I'm doing with silver. I see the bullish opportunity. So that's what I'm trying to align myself with, a buy on silver. All right. So long on silver, guys. Over to gold. So gold has made a nice little push down as well, right? Breaking this trend line. And that was funny, right? Because the dollar was going down and gold was going down. Typically it's not the case, or it's not like that, right? Gold goes up while the dollar goes down. So that's not what it was doing, right? Gold was going down as the dollar was going down. So again, you got to go with the charts, guys, right? I seen this now. I didn't take advantage of it. I just got busy and I forgot to place my orders and what have you, because I was focused on things like the indices. But again, we're at a demand level here and the dollar already looks like it continued to fall. So we can finally get a rise right back up to this level for 52 points or $52 move, which is 520 pips on oil. All right, on the standard, that's 5 bands, right? So just remember, you got opportunities here, right? Could dip down a little bit, right? So you want your stop to be below this low point, but you're risking, a $17 move for roughly, if you kind of get it from anywhere in this area, 65. Guys, it's picture perfect. All right, so look for your opportunity to buy on gold, and looking at it on the lower time frame just to see if we got any change of character, and we kind of do, right? Nice little evening star right here, did a sweep of that bullish engulfing candle. The way the candles are falling are in that wedgie format. So guys, we got another opportunity to take gold up right from here, potentially with a tight stop, and we'll have a payday. All right, and you guys know how it is with uncertainty, right? Everybody looks to run to the commodities to have a hedge, all right, or some kind of safe haven to deal with the nonsense. All right, so again, look for gold to rise, right? Very nice setup on it. Don't miss out. All right, bullish on gold. All right, over to gas. Let's get higher. Okay, so gas is at a supply level right now and we're getting wicks, so we could fall, right? It's just the structure that it's giving, right? But you never know, right? We could also kind of go for the liquidity in this supply area and this as well, because again, we came from the swing high, went to the swing low, so we could probably head it right back up to the high. All right, so this is very mixed for the time being, right? Depends on if the bears show up, okay, then we'll sell it to the swing low. But if the bulls break above this, especially above the wicks, then we can look to take it up to the swing high, and it may rise, you know, like gold and silver. All right, but natural gas looks mixed. All right, so I'll leave it like that for now. But over to SPY. All right, and SPY is at a high, right? Looking at it from the daily, you can see there's indecision here. We didn't really break above, you know, body wise, above that candle, so we could potentially be getting ready to reverse. When I look at it on the 15-minute time frame, you know, I'm seeing that those highs are getting lower, right? So here's the high, but then we have these lower highs here and lower highs here. So what I'm expecting is for price to just give us a nice drop, getting down to, you know, this swing low, but you know, some of the liquidity that's sitting all behind these is where we'll go ahead and eat it up, right? That's 73 points to the downside here. All the way down is 100 points to grab that liquidity. But if we really look at it from a higher time frame, we'll see that we can get potentially so much more than that. All right, from where it stands up here all the way down, that's 208 pips to the downside, right? And look, we're on the weekly, so it took 2 weeks to kind of do 200, you know, points from here to here, right? So, you know, within a week we could at least get 100 points down to this liquidity area. So guys, please be mindful of SPY with the potential drop. Yes, it is bullish right now, right? But we got fair value gap here, fair value gap here, and again, a lot of liquidity sitting in this area. Price looks to balance itself out and seek liquidity, you know, constantly. So in doing that, where would it go and do it in this scenario? To the downside. So do expect some sort of drop on SPY, and then potentially, you know, we'll get to rise off of that. All right, but bearish on SPY. On NAS, same exact thing, guys. You know, we are in uptrend structure, so we can continue to break out of here, right? But if we just so happen to get a change of character to the downside, but you know, mainly breaking below this low, I'll be looking to sell NAS. But as it stands right now, it is still bullish, so you got to be careful of selling it right at this moment. All right, so bullish on NAS, but if it breaks below this low, I will be looking to sell. Okay, and last but not least, US 30. Guys, just clean market structure. We got up to the high and we pushed down, giving us a change of character, breaking this low. We pulled back to the area that we broke, and then we even tapped into supply and we fell again. So again, you know, that's the textbook of it all right there, guys. The break of a low, making a new low, pulling back to the area, right, that initiated the break, right? And then right from there, you know, you would have caught yourself 230 points within 6 hours on US 30. So right now we just broke the low again. The cycle continues. I expect it to pull back, maybe in this fair value gap, maybe to this level of supply sitting right here, and then, you know, we'll get a major drop from it all the way down here, 519 points to the downside on US 30, right? Looks more bearish than NAS, looks more bearish than SPY, right? And it pays more than both of them. All right, so again, you get a standard lot on US 30, you know, you're looking at roughly 50 bands. Okay, easy money. All right, so again, guys, make sure y'all check me out. I'm up on Patreon now. Patreon.com/BBIDF is where you can find it. Make sure to check out my music on beatstars.com/BBIDF. And I'm on some of your streaming services as well. Look up artist Big Bain, and you know, don't forget to check me out, forexwithbain.com. You know, click on the link to join the Discord. Like, comment, and subscribe, and y'all know we get into it. All right, so you really want to learn and you really want to earn. It's about time you make that decision. Just come on over. The water's fine, and the team is grand. All right, so in the meantime, in between time, hope y'all have a good one. It's your boy. Peace.
Wanna get money? Wanna get paid? That's Forex. Like a sensei, then you know you gotta come and swing my way. And if you wanna fast forward here, replay.